My name is Khristenok, and I manage non-functional testing for London Stock Exchange, Turquoise, and Oslo Bourse at Exactpro. And would like today to share our experience in automating non-functional testing. I will reflect what are the benefits and highlight the difficulties we faced. Before we dive in, let's define the non-functional testing. Everyone who a little bit familiar with QA knows this textbook definition that non-functional testing is validating that the system meets all non-functional requirements expected from it. But if we are to take this definition just without any extra thought, it will seem like a deliberate attempt to crash the system. So, how it worked. Something like this. But in reality, NFT covers a wide range of tests, starting from classic stress testing up to testing at the confluence between functional and non-functional. And given the number of tests we deal with is enormous, in some point, every QA team will start looking to automate what they do. And basically, we call this a quest for the big pattern. So, it is an idealistic worldview that where we have the all automation library is fully automated. So we have the execution time is short, and QA pays minimum attention to the process and gets reliable results. Everybody wants it. Clients want it to deliver new features in less time. QA wants it to avoid routine, and QA leads to divert the resources from the manual testing to basically to expanding the testing library. However, the complexity of creating the sufficient and efficient automated testing library is often quite underestimated. So, in fact, who have struggled with NFT automation may find someday that the idea is utopian, because there are a lot of challenges which we need to face with. The quest will start with the test scenario creation, and basically the most problem there it is the production-like or stress dilemma. So when we raising the issue, the first question from clients will be, is it a production-like scenario? To actually understand the severity of the issue and to understand whether it will be in real life. And what we can't rely only for production-like, so numbers and trades, etc. We should be pessimistic and imagine all adverse scenarios which may happen. And so we need to stress the system and take it outside the system limits and to get the system breakpoint. Yeah. So this balance to keep the testing between the prod-like and basically room to grow represent the most significant problems for the NFT automation. There is no failed past result in NFT. Because basically, if we are taking the same test with increased transaction per second rate, it will be failed. And so this, we've been asked many times during our work, I remember this, that so we're writing an issue and we've been asked whether it is issue, a bug, or it is our test incorrect or unrealistic. It is always like this. And another peculiar thing that some failed result can be taken finally as the expected system behavior because the requirements are quite vague. And that's why I think that stress testing is a MiFID II requirement. Sorry, forgot to mention it. That's why what my point is that NFT issues and tests somehow they are quite taken as observation opportunities, not like things to label and categorize. And even if the requirement is clear and specific, like KPI, for example, it will be different for different system and may change in some time because based on the production analysis. So my point is that non-functional regression is not static and should be adjusted all the time, as well as the automated library we have. So another major issue for NFT regression library, it is the audit of the tests we have, because we need to be sure that our tests, they are huge and can't be divided into simpler action, but we need to be sure that the implementation is in line with the scenario. And we need to be sure that all other components and elements, which are a lot of them, and it is very hard to audit all of them, they are not changed till the next run, for the next release, for example. And going further, we will face an issue how to treat the result. And even if we are able to identify the best-failed criteria, we need to actually, to get this confirmed, the result, from somehow without manual assistance to automate the testing. And basically in this way, the variety of the test result sources can be as fatal as the absence of some. So, for example, we may have up to 500 GB of application logs, hardware capture traffic, and something else just to deal with this, process it, and understand the result, passed or failed. And the variety of NFT tests leaves no hope of getting things done only with one test tool. It is our creed. That because every specific test requires a specific testing approach and sometimes a specific test tool. We have developed our own load generators, different reconciliation and verification checkers, system health checkers, and automation execution tools, etc. And some of them are Python scripts and Bash script, very simple, and some of them are tools which are devoted to the specific function, like, for example, latency analysis or failover testing. So the idea of the big button is very attractive, and we aim to go through this quest. We are in the middle of the way, and we are facing all the challenges we have. Some of them are already so implemented, and some of them are in progress, and some of them are deferred to the next time. But we think that we will we will face it, all of them. But during the process, there may be some better automation approaches and solutions come up. So there is no end for this quest. It is our creed. Thank you. Your questions.
Thank you, Anna.
Just on the point that you made about results of non-functional testing being accepted as not quite so Boolean. So some people say, well, it's a failure. Some people say, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
I think, in my experience, some of that stems from the fact that the actual non-functional requirements are notoriously difficult to elicit from the end user.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you've come across any environments where actually you would involve production support into formulating those non-functional requirements rather than the business, because this is what we've started doing.
Yeah, we are working with the production team in the LSEG just to understand what are the requirements, and basically we are always in the process to discuss all the issues and understand this, whether it is an issue, a bug, or it is in our new requirements. So we are always expanding our KPIs based on our testing. That, okay, as every change we are testing exchanges, every exchange has some sort of KPIs like, don't know, transaction volume per day or transaction rate per second. But any other factors which are facing the real system during the day. They are, so you can't count them. So many of them, and that's why we are expanding our library. We find something and we try to work with people, with business and with the product also, to understand whether it is something to change in the system or it is fine, and we just can set up a new limit there and it will be our new KPI. It is our work like this. Yeah.
Thank you.